Reading on my not recording. Can y'all hear this? Why is it not
You
playing?
gotta record.
Why is this not playing? Oh, don't do this to me. It's not gonna be cool if it doesn't read because I do not want to read this whole story. I'll have to go find it.
I don't want to read it
We're
either.
gonna read it if we have to read it. I'll have to do something else then if we can't get the story. We'll skip the story for the day if I have to.
If it says open a new window, it's probably not gonna work.
It's probably not. Look, it's not even loading.
Come on.
Natalie B is here.
She's been here.
Me?
No, it said she joined.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
I
been
thought you
here,
said
but
Natalie
I've been
B is
here, but my computer stopped
I
working.
thought you said Natalie B is here.
No,
yeah.
Natalie
V
B.
and B sound so alike. For some,
That's why
I
like,
know.
I was still here.
I'm putting tape.
I think maybe this computer has auto sound in it. Whenever you say B or V, it sounds like you're saying
Be up.
like maybe Zoom has something like that.
Hold on, let me see if this loads. If it doesn't load, then I'm gonna skip. I guess we can read the story. We can take turns reading the story. Which might take us forever. Oh, come on, please work.
It's because I've been trying to like put it in, but it's not working. Like CW 2020.
You may have to
CW 2020, capital CW and then 2020,
Yeah, Shift C.
okay.
not
Yeah.
shift.
There are chatterboxes.
Oh, oh.
Here we go.
Probably doesn't work if you don't if you
Why isn't it working?
W capitalized
Why is it not working?
because it's capital C W 2020.
Oh, because I have my speaker. Oh, beans and cheese. I have it on. I have it going to my smart board. That's why.
And analyze
Sorry.
realistic fiction. In realistic fiction, the plot or series of events is
What page?
at
Sorry.
read, identify
46.
and analyze the elements of the plot. Introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution. Establish purpose. One purpose for reading realistic fiction is to be entertained. You could also read fiction to determine how events are influenced by the setting or location of the story.
Okay, that's all I wanted to read here. Beans and cheese. I can't believe it. We'll do our first read today. We won't do our set. We'll do our close read tomorrow. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll have time tomorrow. It's Mama's Window. We've already kind of discussed or been thinking about what this story could be like, but let's see. Oh, my beans and cheese. Look, I already highlighted last year. I'm ahead of the game. Look at that. Anyways.
Wait, what page is this?
Last year? How come it's only this year?
Page.
I mean, how come it's still there and only for this story?
Some of the other stories that had it too. I guess
Wait, last year, like last year in 2020.
2019. Well, actually, 2020, probably the end of it.
I don't have to highlight yet.
Look, it's 2021. Probably like
Exactly.
beginning of
That's what
2020.
I'm confused about. People say last year, but it's like the beginning of 2021, so like 2020 or like 2019.
Okay. Let's read.
From Mama's Window by Lynn Rubright. Furious at the church folks and mad at his uncle, Sugar stood on the dock and watched Uncle Free pull out of the swamp into the bayou. Then Sugar stormed back inside. He plopped down on his cot and began picking at the frayed fishnet.
So this story's already off to a rough start. Somebody's mad at somebody. Who's mad at who? I guess.
Sugar.
Sugar's mad at his uncle Free. Looks like.
After a few minutes, Sugar got up and looked inside the box of clothes. Clothes just like Mama would have bought for Christmas or Easter, he thought. Tears filled his eyes. With a sudden sweep of his arm, Sugar flung the box on the floor. Shirt, pants, shoes, socks, and underwear went flying. He collapsed onto his cot and wept.
So I want y'all to think about this. Let me read this again. What do you think's happened to his mom? Just don't say anything yet. Let me read it to y'all and y'all think. After a few minutes, Sugar got up and looked inside the box of clothes. Clothes just like Mama would have bought for Christmas or Easter, he thought. Tears filled his eyes. With a sudden sweep of his arm, Sugar flung the box on the floor. Shirts, pants, shoes, socks, and underwear went flying. He collapsed onto his cot and wept. What do you think happened to his mom?
Yeah.
Is she still around? Does it sound like she's still around?
That sounds like she isn't.
Sounds like she isn't. Chris, you got a question? It sounds like she isn't. We're on page 50 if you need to know what page we're on. It sounds like she isn't, right? Chris? You had your hand up. Okay, let's keep going.
You acting like a baby, Sugar said to himself as his sobbing subsided. Just feeling sorry for yourself. He picked up the clothes from the floor and laid them out on the cot. Then he walked over to the old lead sink, took off his overalls, and began pumping icy spring water over his head. Woo! Sugar said, shivering. He scrubbed his hair, face, ears, neck, and arms with Uncle Free's lye soap. He rubbed himself dry in a hurry to get warm. Quickly, Sugar put on his new underwear, shirt, and pants. He glanced in the mirror as he brushed his hair. Uncle Free had insisted on trimming Sugar's hair a few days ago. Why you gotta mess with my hair? Sugar had complained. Nobody care how long it gets. I care, Uncle Free had said. So that's why Uncle Free want to cut my hair, Sugar said. So it looked nice for the dedication.
Where's the story taking place? Where's the setting? Look at that picture on page 150. Where does it look like?
Swamp.
Swamp.
The swamp.
It's like a swamp. Sorry, let me scroll down.
Sugar grabbed his new shoes, stuffing the socks into the toes as he ran out the door. He placed the shoes in the bow of his boat where they wouldn't get wet. Swiftly, he untied the boat from the dock and climbed into the stern. He shoved off with his pole, careful not to splash water on his new clothes. Sugar wasn't sure why he was all dressed up, hurrying towards Cypress Grove. He didn't want to go to the dedication of the new Sweet Kingdom Church. Conflicting emotions bubbled up inside him. Nevertheless, he pulled forward quickly and smoothly. As he approached Cypress Grove, Sugar could see the new brick church nestled among the trees. Maybe Uncle Free be right, thinking Mama might agree with the trustee committee.
So they're going from, I guess, the swamp, it looks like, to church, right? They're changing their setting.
Sugar thought. Rounding the bend, Sugar saw the crowd gathered near the shoreline of Sun Lake. They were getting ready to parade up the path into the church for the sermon and singing part of the ceremony. Nobody seemed to notice Sugar enter the cove and slip under the weeping willow branches. He pulled along Uncle Free's boat and rolled up his pant legs so they wouldn't get wet when he stepped into the shallow water. He pulled the bow of his boat onto the grass, adjusted his clothes, and put on his new socks and shoes. Ouch, Sugar said when he stood up. Uncle Free got everything right except these shoes. They too tight. Sugar watched the procession of folks in their Sunday best from behind the canopy of willow fronds. At least I'd be dressed like Mama would have wanted if I was going to the dedication, he thought, which I ain't. Pastor Williams led the way, followed by the choir, dressed in their flowing scarlet robes, singing Walking Up the King's Highway. Mama's favorite hymn, thought Sugar. Then came the church members, singing along with the choir. Girls in starched, ruffled frocks, white socks and Sunday shoes, and boys in pressed pants and shirts and freshly shined shoes marched proudly with their parents. Bringing up the rear was Mr. Pearson and the trustee board members, followed by Mrs. Pearson with Stewie in tow. Sugar noticed Uncle Free was lagging behind, limping along slowly but looking good in his new store-bought clothes in spite of his bent body. Uncle Free ain't no swamp rat, he thought, no matter what Stewie Pearson say. Sugar watched the last of the congregation enter the church before he shot out from under the willow branches and raced up the path. He rushed past his uncle, around toward the front of the church where the stained glass window should have been. Impulsively, Sugar reached down and grabbed a rock. His new shoes pinched, but he barely noticed. He thrust back his arm and aimed at the center of the window.
Uh-oh.
Then abruptly, Sugar dropped the rock. He spun around and almost crashed into Uncle Free, who had run after him, bad leg and all. Uncle Free grabbed Sugar with his good arm. It was Mama, Sugar sobbed, pressing his face against Uncle Free's shoulder. I wanted to break that plain glass window, but Mama wouldn't let me do it.
So is his, do y'all think his mom's alive? Does it sound like his mom's alive? Right? Doesn't seem like it.
Uncle Free held the trembling boy close. That don't surprise me, son, Uncle Free said. I told you she just might want you to go to the dedication, not to wreck the church window, even a plain glass one. Uncle Free pulled his handkerchief from his pocket and wiped Sugar's face. I see you did a good job washing up, but now your face all stained with tears, said Uncle Free, examining Sugar. New clothes fit nice. Look good, too. Let's go on inside. But, Uncle Free, I don't want to go to the dedication. Can we just go back home? Sugar pleaded.
Why don't you think he wants to go to the dedication? Anybody know? Why maybe he wouldn't want to go to the dedication?
Uncle Free gently but firmly grabbed Sugar's arm and led him toward the front door to the church. Sometimes we gotta do things we don't want to do, James Earl. This here's one of them times. There was no arguing with Uncle Free when he spoke in that tone of voice. Sugar and Uncle Free entered through the heavy oak doors that framed the entrance to the new Sweet Kingdom Church. The choir and congregation were harmonizing on the last stanza of Great Day, the righteous marching, great day. Pastor Wilson looked up from the freshly varnished pulpit and saw Free McBride and Sugar standing behind the last pew. He beckoned them to come down front. Sugar, staring at the black curtain in front of the window, was frozen in his spot. Uncle Free squeezed Sugar's arm and nudged him to move, but Sugar resisted and tried to pull away. Uncle Free bent down and whispered, James Earl, we going to the front of the church. I know you don't wanna, but you ain't got no choice. There was no breaking away from Uncle Free. Together, they made their way down the aisle. Swamp rats, hissed Stewie, wedged between his mama and daddy. Hush, boy. Mr. Pearson's voice was as sharp as a viper's tongue. Uncle Free pressed his fingers around Sugar's arm. Ignore that, son, he whispered. Sugar didn't turn around. He kept walking as if in a trance. There were 2 empty chairs in the front row where the deacons sat. Pastor Williams gestured them to the seats of honor. Sugar didn't feel like being honored. All he wanted was to escape back to Uncle Free's shack in the swamp. Dewey's right, Sugar thought. I'm a swamp rat. I don't deserve to be in a fancy church like this. Maybe when Mama was alive, but no more.
Ooh, so is his mom alive? We just figured it out. Is his mom alive? No. So why do you think it's hard for him to go back to that church now that you know that she's not alive?
Maybe she used to work at the church.
Work at the church, or there's special meaning behind it?
Whenever she said if Mama was here a lot of times, it kind of sounded like she wasn't there.
Yeah. So maybe there's special meaning, or maybe it brings up a bunch of, I guess, sadness when he goes to that.
Memories
Memories, yeah, memories that maybe
of them going there when she was alive.
I think she owned the window or like the church or something.
Let's see what happens.
That I'm wearing nice new clothes. I'm nothing but a swamp rat like Uncle Free. Sugar was so deep in thought, he barely heard Pastor Williams' sermon, which was about understanding and loving one another and the importance of having dreams. Then the pastor called Mr. Pearson to come forward to say a few words. Making his way to the pulpit, he cast a friendly look in Sugar's direction. Sugar turned away, not wanting to face Mr. Pearson. James Earl, said Mr. Pearson, looking directly at Sugar. Your mama, Ida Mae Martin, had a dream. Yeah, thought Sugar, and y'all stole it. He stared up at the black curtain draped in front of where Mama's window should have been.
Oh, so he's upset about the window. Remember they said in the beginning, that little introduction, that they bought bricks instead of, I guess, putting the stained glass window in the church? So he's a little salty about it.
But it was Ida Mae's son, James Earl, who kept his mama's dream for a stained glass window alive when the rest of us lost sight of it. Mr. Pearson went on. James Earl, would you please step up here? What's all this talk about dreams? Sugar was thinking when Uncle Free nudged him. Get up, son, whispered Uncle Free. Mr. Pearson calling you up to the front. Feeling numb, Sugar walked toward the pulpit. James Earl, said Mr. Pearson, would you please pull this cord?
What do y'all think's behind the cord? When he pulls the curtain down, what do you think's behind there?
You just showed us.
I want somebody to say, what's behind there?
It's the glass window.
Window, it looks like.
Oh yeah.
Pastor Williams put a thin rope in Sugar's palm. It was attached to the black curtain on a pulley. Mr. Pearson and Pastor Williams nodded, and Sugar tugged. Suddenly, the curtain fell to the floor, revealing a window with the sun shining through red, pink, purple, green, yellow, and blue stained glass. Black angels floated up and down a shimmering staircase that reached into a heaven of blue and white clouds. There were gasps from the congregation as folks jumped to their feet and burst into applause. Sugar couldn't take his eyes off the beautiful window. Stumbling, he returned to his seat next to Uncle Free. When folks settled down, Mr. Pearson continued. Sugar was barely listening. It was James Earl's faith in Ida Mae's dream, with some help from an anonymous donor, that led to the stained glass window being installed in time for this dedication, said Mr. Pearson. Sugar jolted to attention. Anonymous donor? Who'd that be? He wondered. And why they want to keep it a secret? The trustee board knew what was best for our physical well-being by building a church out of brick, said Mr. Pearson. But it was Ida Mae who knew what was best for our souls. James Earl knew it too. James Earl was even willing to fight for it. Then Mr. Pearson led the congregation in a fresh round of applause, sprinkled with loud, joyous shouts of Amen, Glory be, and Praise the Lord. Pastor Williams nodded, and the choir started to sing, Glory, Alleluia, a great day is a-coming. The congregation began to chant the Amen chorus. All Sugar could do was sit there staring at Mama's window. Before he knew it, Sugar was swept outside onto the lawn with Uncle Free and folks from the congregation. Church women served everyone platters of fried chicken, barbecued ribs, greens, potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, watermelon slices, fresh apple pies, and jugs of lemonade and iced tea. Mama's old friends fussed over Sugar as if he was some kind of hero. While the grown-ups visited, the children ran off and played statues and tag. Sugar joined them. Stewie hung back. Hey, Stewie, Sugar hollered. Come on. Reluctantly, Stewie entered into the games. Sugar acted as if nothing bad had happened between them. He knew this was not a time to hold a grudge. Now and again, Sugar heard Uncle Free's laugh above the din of the crowd. It reminded Sugar of how Uncle Free and Mama used to laugh together. Finally, Uncle Free came over and called to Sugar. We got to get back before dark, son. They pulled themselves away from the crowd and waved goodbye. Hey, Sugar, one of the children called after them. You promised us a ride in your boat. Someday soon, Sugar called back. Uncle Free and Sugar slipped under the great weeping willow. They removed their shoes and socks, waded into the shallow water, and hopped into their boats. Sugar led the way across Sun Lake. As he maneuvered into the bayou, Sugar shouted, "Look, Uncle Free, swamp vine blooming there on that cypress tree."
So the settings changing again. They're going from being on land at the church to going back to their house.
"So it is, Sugar," called Uncle Free. "You noticing all sort of things you never paid no mind to before now." It was true. Sugar pointed to a great blue heron daintily tiptoeing along the edge of the water. Then he looked up, and through the canopy of cypresses, he saw an eagle circling high above. Sugar also noticed how the sun shining through the overhanging mosses made delicate patterns on the water, and how the water sparkled in the dappled light. Sugar rode along in silence. After a while, he called out, "Uncle Free, there's something else I noticed. You seem to know all about the stained glass window being in place for the dedication." "Well," said Uncle Free, "I know."
Who do you think the anonymous donor was? Uncle Free? I think it might have been Uncle Free, maybe.
Well,
Plot
you know.
twist.
It might have been, it probably was.
Some anonymous donor paid for the window so it be put in the church. That's all there was to it. That ain't all there was to it, and you know it. Maybe somebody just wanted to be a secret, said Uncle Free. That somebody be you, Sugar exclaimed. Uncle Free didn't say a word. Mama knew just what she was doing when she sent me to live with you, didn't she, Uncle Free? Said Sugar. She sure did, son. She knew exactly what she was doing. Lots more than I knew what she was doing. Uncle Free let out a laugh that echoed all the way to Cypress Grove. Sugar laughed too, sounding just like Uncle Free. As the sun set over the swamp, the shack came into view. We almost there, Uncle Free, said Sugar. We almost home.
Wow, what a story. Okay, is this an example of a realistic fiction?
Yes,
Yes, why? What tells you that?
Definitely.
because there is, well, all the events that happened in the plot or in the story can happen in a real life.
Bingo! All right, let's go to page 160, or not 162. 62. Page 62. Let's develop our vocabulary. Here, my screen. Page 62. Come on, y'all need to turn your cameras on too. Why so many don't have them up? I want to see your shiny faces. Trombone Shorty, is that next week? 62.
Trombone stole.
Page 62. Is everybody on page 62? Yes, no, maybe so. You're awfully quiet.
Yep.
Okay. It says use a print or digital dictionary to determine the definition of the underlying word. Then explain how the word helps you better understand the plot of Mama's story. So, our word, our vocabulary, impulsively. Impulsively, Sugar reached down and grabbed a rock. What does impulsively mean? Y'all remember from yesterday? Use your journal if you don't remember. Impulsively, Sugar reached down and grabbed the rock. You can even use your book. Impulsively, what does it mean? Impulsively, somebody look back.
Suddenly,
What?
suddenly.
Sudden.
Suddenly, yeah, suddenly. Good job, Charlie. Suddenly. And without careful thought. And without careful thought. Remember, you'll have a test on these words on Friday. You'll have them all written down and you'll have your books.
Sugar pick up the rock?
How did Sugar pick up the rock? How did he pick it up? Well, I guess it told us how he picked it up. How did he pick it up?
Impulsively?
Yeah, so Sugar picked up the rock without thinking.
What are we doing after this? Hey,
Maybe spelling without thinking. Or I may do. This happens in the beginning of the story. So if we take a look back at our anchor chart we put in there. Where's my anchor chart? It is. The consequences will lead to the rising action. Doesn't he say his mama stopped him from throwing the rock or something?
And she has what courage is.
Just like
That's what's happening. The rising action's happening before the climax. So what's leading up to that climax, that high point? I don't like plot. Plot's hard.
what is?
It's hard.
You may wonder why my pencil is red, but it's not an eraser. It's just like that.
If you're done with this, look up what grudge means. What's our next one? What is grudge?
Grudge, like holding in a feeling
dislike,
or emotion.
dislike.
Yeah, so holding a strong feeling of dislike. Yeah, they're kind of the same thing. A strong feeling of dislike. A strong feeling. Like you don't want to hold a grudge, especially with your friends. What was Sugar not going to do with Stewie? So what was Sugar not going to do with Stewie? Stewie was kind of a bully. Tell him what, swamp rats? That was mean. He's bullying him. Don't y'all agree he was bullying him?
So he didn't like the church because he thought that they covered Mama's window.
Well, he thought he didn't like the church and he didn't want to go to the dedication because he thought they used the money that Mama had raised to, I guess, use to put bricks on the church. But it turns out, what ends up happening, it turns out there's an anonymous donor, which is his uncle, and they still got the window put up, right?
And that was Uncle Free.
Yeah, so he didn't want to go to that dedication because he was upset because he didn't know that they had actually put a window in there, stained glass window.
Wow. Wow. Amazing.
I guess that's the high point, right? When they reveal the window, that would be like the climax.
I bet when he was like, Uncle Free did that for
I
me.
think that'd be the resolution.
This is the resolution.
Resolution.
I think the resolution would be at the end where he tells about the anonymous donor and he tells them that it was him would be the resolution. Let's see. So what was Sugar not going to do to Stewie? What was he not going to do with Stewie? He's not going to what? Was he going to stay mad at Stewie? I guess not. If you went back to the story, it said, hold on.
Sugar was not going to be in a grudge with Stewie or
Stay
mad
mad.
with Stewie.
Yeah, there you go. Sugar was not going to stay. Oh, I hate this book. Stay mad at Stewie, even though Stewie is a bully. I think that might have been another reason too. Like it said he didn't want to go to church, right? Because of Stewie, the Pearsons, or right? It said he didn't want to go to church because of the Pearsons.
Who was Stewie? I don't remember him as a character.
Me neither. I don't remember Stewie either.
Yeah, I remember
I
Stewie was
don't
named
remember the characters' names because, like, I just remember Sugar and stuff.
Sugar was Jane's girl, and then you had Uncle Free, and then you had the Pearsons, and then you had Stewie. I guess they were part of the people. They were part of the church congregation, and Stewie was mean to.
Who was Stewie? I don't remember who he was.
Watch it out tomorrow. So this is part of the falling action. This is part of these stories. This is part of the falling.
When you know all of the events and plot, it's not really that hard. But
I don't know. I still think it's hard. So hard. It's challenging. The falling action. So this is like when they're outside playing in the field or the yard outside the church. So the rising action is everything that happened before the church. How he doesn't want to go in. He was going to throw that rock and everything. And then the high points when they get to church and they reveal that window. And then the falling action is right here where he's outside with Stewie and everything. And the resolution would be when Uncle Free tells him that he was the one that dedicated the window. I'm thinking we'll do one more page out of here. Is what I'm thinking. But y'all can do yourselves the next few minutes. It won't take y'all very long. When we're done, we are going to do page 71. Only go take y'all more than 10 minutes. And then we'll do subject and verb agreements, and that's probably it. Maybe no, we already did daily fix it. That's probably it. Which I can show you a video on subject and verb agreement when we get there. So when we're done, we're on page 71. We got it, so we can move on. You're working on 71 by yourself. Don't tell me, oh, I don't know what to do. That yesterday? Oh. Who's going to tell me what we're doing on page 71? Emma, read where it says my turn.
read the words, then spell and alphabetize the words. Make sure to spell each our controlled vowel sound correctly.
So what are we doing with these words? We're doing what?
We're going to alphabetize them.
So we're going to put them
We're
in.
gonna alphabetical order.
We're going to put them in ABC.
There we go. That's how you say it.
I'm giving y'all 10 minutes. I don't think it will take y'all 10 minutes, but I'm setting my timer.
Okay. I used to be really bad at alphabetical order.
After, let's see. Go. Actually, I'm giving y'all 9 minutes. I'll put the ABCs up at the top so you know. Right here. I'm in ABC order. Should be what I make y'all turn in. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L.
And then it'll be
Hello. I'm guessing he went to the restroom. I'll write my ABCs here. The ABCs, I'll write them here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Rest of y'all. Why are the rest of y'all so quiet? Are y'all doing it, Daniel? Are you putting them in ABC order? Let's go. I'll give y'all a head start. I'll give y'all a head start. And I'll give you the last one. Give you the last one.
It's kind of weird because versus is our last word on our spelling.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, but
The word and then versus and then another word, it would make more sense.
Six and a half minutes. It's okay if you don't get all the way done with it. I haven't even checked my emails in probably like 2 days.
Sorry, I lost my cap for my pen, so I had to look for it. It was at the very back of the bottom of this table or drawer thing.
I'm going to create a quiz. Give y'all another hint. Hint time. See if y'all got them right so far. You've gotten this far.
Oh,
I'm randomly putting them in there. Marvel.
thanks.
You haven't gotten there yet.
I'm actually on the M right now, so thanks. done.
Ooh, just in the nick of time, huh? You got 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Make sure you have Canvas open. We're gonna go into that next.
What are we gonna do?
It's a review. We're gonna work on some subject-verb agreement.
Okay.
But keep your book near you because we're gonna go over our spelling. Okay?
Do we have to do the online test for math test?
Yes, you'll have to
No.
do it. You can. You're gonna use the paper today. Oh, but I mean, some people don't have the paper test.
It's okay if people miss it. They're gonna have to make up for it no matter what.
But some people don't have the paper test if they haven't come to the class.
Well, then they'll just have to. Well, I mean, they can't do. I don't know.
Well, they don't have the paper.
If it's a 30-question test and we're doing by ourselves, it's gonna take a really long time. Wait, we're splitting it, right? We're splitting it into 15 and 15 questions each day, right?
Yeah, we're gonna split it 15.
Oh, okay. I thought we were gonna do 30 questions a day first. I will be in charge.
Oh, here it is. Almost done. You have about a minute. Or no, I lied. 33 seconds. Oops. All right, let's start going over these. Who's gonna give me number 2? Let's go. Who's got number 2? Go, Natalie.
Ardent.
Daniel, did you get the next one?
Ardent.
What?
Confirm.
Oh. Did you get the next one? It's okay if you get them wrong. Just let me know what you got.
Observe.
Serve. Good. What's next?
Converse.
Converse. Good job, Daniel. Here, I didn't think of. ABC order. What's next?
Discard.
Discard. See something. Discard. What's next?
Format.
Dormant. Yes. Yes. What's next?
Foraging. Foraging.
Foreign. Foreign.
Foreign. Foreign.
Foreign. Yeah. Foreign. Go back up here and get rid of these. Foreign. Discard. What's after that?
Format. Format.
Bingo. Good. After that?
Nervous.
You forgot one.
Nervous.
She missed one.
You forgot one.
Never mind. You can't have one.
Oh.
What is it? There's 2 M's.
Arjun.
Margin. Irma. An M. And Marvel. What's after Marvel?
I got the alphabet wrong.
Yeah, the alphabet wrong.
I put M over before.
I don't like this. This is always not fun. This is never fun to do. Because if you make one mistake, you have to reset the full thing up to the things before.
Exactly. What's after Marvel? What's
Well,
after,
she said it's okay if you make a mistake.
it is okay if you make a mistake. What's after Marvel?
Margin. I mean, not nervous.
Nervous. There we go.
And nervous.
What's next? What's next?
Next is orchard.
Oh, okay.
Good job.
Orchid.
Yeah, it's orchard.
Permanent.
And then we got peace.
Portrait?
Portrait. No. Peace.
No, no, because Emma said permanent.
Oh, I didn't hear her.
And then I said portrait.
So we're gonna go back and get a kindergarten teacher to help us. Then portrait. We got a kindergarten for the day.
What are you guys doing?
Caleb, go over there.
Purchase.
Good job, Charlie. Purchase. Send you out of kindergarten for a day.
Why?
We're on our ABCs, I thought.
We know our ABCs. You just didn't hear Emma. I thought you already wrote it down, so it said portrait.
What's next?
Yes. I
Alright.
forgot to like branch out.
Rehearse,
Please rehearse your ABC.
remark, thermal.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I got it correct.
Got it correct?
Yes. It took so long for me.
Ready?
Ow. My legs hurt.
Let's go back over subject and verb agreement real fast.
I got a notification about an assignment named subject and verb agreement.
I just created it. Yeah.
Assignment? Do we have an assignment like that?
Yeah, we do. I didn't just create it, but it's available. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I got one last night.
I can see how this video is.
We have a fan arts in like a 12 minutes.
I know. I don't know how long this video is. It might hinder our.
Good grammar and
outcome.
spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire, messages, before you watch this video,
Maybe we'll not get to that quiz today because it's 7 minutes long, but we'll watch the video instead.
can you guess which one is correct? The apple fall. The apple falls.
Which sentence is correct? The apple fall or the apple falls? I'll quiz you.
Apple falls.
Bottom one.
The apple falls because it's singular, so we need a plural vowel, which means right here, the apple falls.
Well, that's what we are talking about today, subject-verb agreement. So hold on to your answer because we'll come back to it in just a bit. What is subject-verb agreement? This just means that the subject and the verb has to get along like they're buddies. They have to agree with each other. So what does that mean? That means if the subject is singular, then the verb has to be singular. If the subject is plural, then the verb has to be plural. If you're not sure what singular and plural noun means, stop watching this video, scroll down to the description box, and find a link to the video about singular and plural nouns and watch that first. We are going to focus on nouns as subjects today, and we're going to learn how the nouns match the verbs. First, let's learn about singular noun and verb agreement. We first need to remember that singular means there is just one. It's single, it's alone. Here's a couple of singular nouns: car, tree, ball. Here's something really important to remember about a singular verb. A singular verb always has an S at the end. Eats, drinks. Remember that singular means just one thing.
I tried to remember putting an S at the end by thinking that it wants a little friend S because it's single or alone. I know it's a bit silly, but it helps me remember. Read this sentence. A bird sings. A bird. That's a singular noun. That means there's just one bird. We need a singular verb. Remember, a singular verb wants a little friend S at the end. So we'll say, a bird sings. Here's another one. A flower grows. A flower is a singular noun. There's just one flower. And grows is a singular verb.
So remember, when your noun is singular, what we took notes on yesterday, your verb is plural, which means you add an S, and they'll look so bored.
Do you see our little friend S at the end of our singular verb? We have a singular noun and a singular verb. So our subject and verb agree with each other. Now let's go back to those sentences you saw at the beginning of this video. The apple fall, the apple falls. Which subject and verb agree? The apple is a singular noun, so we need a singular verb, falls. Now that we know how to match a singular noun and singular verb in a sentence, can you spot which sentence is correct? A boy dances. A boy dance.
You have one.
A boy dances is correct because boy is a singular noun. So you need a singular verb, dances. Don't forget that S at the end of a singular verb. Shall we now look at the plural noun and plural verb agreement? We first need to remember that plural means there is more than one. It is not alone. Here's a couple of plural nouns. Birds, teeth, bananas. One thing you need to remember about plural verbs is that unlike singular verbs, we will not add S at the end. Think of it this way. When a sentence is in the plural form, it means there's more than one. It's not alone. You don't want another friend S to make it too crowded. Look at this next sentence. Flowers is a plural noun, so we need a plural verb. Bloom is a plural verb. Do you see that we did not add an S at the end? We have a plural noun and a plural verb, so our subject and verb agree with each other. What about these sentences? Which one is correct? The children play with toys. The children plays with toys. The children play with toys is the correct sentence. Children is a plural noun, meaning there's more than one child. So we need a plural verb to go along with the subject. Play is the plural verb, and there is no extra S at the end of play. Try this one. The elves wraps the presents. The elves.
Which one's correct? The elves wraps the presents or the elves wrap the presents?
The bottom one.
Bottom one, bingo, you are learning.
Elves wrap the presents. Which one is correct? The elves wrap the presents is the correct sentence. Elves is a plural noun, so we have a plural verb. A plural verb does not have an extra S at the end, so it's wrap. Now that we know how to match a plural noun and plural verb in a sentence, can you spot which sentence is correct? The stars shines. The stars shine. Good job! The stars shine is correct because stars is a plural noun and shine is a plural verb. I hope this video helped you
All
better
right.
understand about subject-verb agreement with singular and plural nouns.
Stop. I got 2 exit tickets for y'all today. 2 exit tickets. Are y'all ready?
It's boring.
Yes.
Literally. Hey, it's better than me talking sometimes, I think. Maybe. We got 2 exit tickets. Elizabeth, I need you to stay on this Zoom meeting anyways. Don't leave when I let them go to music. But before we go, Miss Lowry should be coming in for you. So, my exit tickets. Please put your answer either A or B in the chat privately. First, oh, wrong screen share. Well, actually, before we do that answer in the chat, let me do my second. Don't even look at this top one yet. What discard? What is my R? What is going on here? What is my R controlled or my bossy R in discard? What am I gonna in discard? What am I gonna do?
A.
What?
A.
Just
A.
in discard, what am I gonna highlight? In discard.
AR.
AR. Thank you. I lost my highlighter. Oh, there it is. Anyways, okay. I need your answer in the chat. So, my kids is playing outside or my kids were playing outside? Either A or B. Send it to me privately in the chat as your exit ticket. What we just went over. If I call your name and say you're correct, you are free to go to music. Elizabeth, be on with me. So my kids is playing outside or my kids were playing outside? Which one is correct? Send it to me in the chat. I see 7. Come on. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes. Let's see. Emma, you're good. Anello, you're good. Ida, you're good. Daniel, you're good. Christian, you're good. Charlie, you're good. Angelina, you're good. Mariah, look at that again. Natalie B, you're good. Good job. You are answering these. You are actually paying attention. If I said your name, you're good to go. Mariah, look at it again. My kids is playing outside or my kids were playing outside? Y'all have music. Be back at 12:25 for y'all that I told you could leave. Daniel, you're good to go. 12:25.
I thought it was kid.
Okay, bye. I'll see you at 12:25.
Be back, yes, because it's math. Natalie B, Dominic. Put your answer in the chat. Ozzy, put your answer in the chat. Elizabeth, no, Elizabeth left. I told her not to leave. Okay, Mariah, you're good to go. I told her not to leave. She left.
We're going to music?
Yes, you have music.
Okay.
I told her not to leave. Put your answer in the chat.